Mystery, glamour, and old Calgary history peeks out of the bushes in Fish Creek Park.
Welcome to the mansion. Come on in.
This historic building, now a fine dining restaurant, was once a trading post built in the 1870s by pioneers John Glenn and his wife Adelaide.
This is the beginning of Calgary. John Glenn was the original settler with the natives. I mean, how far back can you go?
Fast forward 22 years.
It's the actual logs from his first cabin, as you can see here.
In 1892, passing through the west to find greener pastures, cattle baron and businessman William Roper Hall decided to stop and settle.
He had come with his brother, originally going to California to find gold, and they were coming with about 1,200 head of cows into this area and loved it, and they purchased then from John Glenn the homestead, and I think it was for $350 a cow and a calf.
In 1896, he spent another $4,000 and built the mansion.
It was an actual working ranch. Burns came over afterwards, as many people know him for the meat packing plants.
6 years later, Senator Patrick Burns bought it. Burns was a pillar of old Calgary and a founding father of the Calgary Stampede.
Burns was able to go all the way down to Montana without even leaving his land.
The mansion was a social center for these cattle barons and the Calgary elite.
Before they used to have several parties, so it was a real party house. That bigger room, the Grand Salon, is where initially they had several parties going on in those evenings, and they had swimming pool outside, tennis courts, so they had fun here.
Donald Huey is a witness to the playful spirit of the place.
Well, just as the people were leaving, of course, I'm getting ready to clear it off and get it reset. So as soon as I had that done, I went in and pulled the cable from the stereo, and then I turned off the lights and proceeded to head downstairs. So as I was taking the first few steps down, I heard the music come back on.
Donald says he went back to check. The stereo was still unplugged. There were no batteries, and the music still played on.
So I said, okay, I get the message, and I just left the back and left the room.
Each person we spoke with has their own ideas about who would have done something like that.
You wonder, is it Charlie the ghost? The story goes it's Charlie, and Charlie was the cook that was hired by William Roper Hall back in, I believe, 1902. And Charlie then subsequently stayed with Patrick Burns and ended up cooking for the ranch hand.
One of the oldest remainders of those days was built by Charlie himself. Some things never left the ranch house, and those who did leave will most likely return. William Roper Hall, Global News cameraman George Glenn. Or at least come back for a visit. Treya Zinger, Global News.